Hi, Dick. We're Montessori teachers. Do you want to pop her in a spot? That would be wherever you want.
So this is Raymond. Just want to talk to you a little bit about some of the things that we have going on out in here. Practical life for the first year students is really just getting them prepared, getting them to slow their bodies down, to start kind of concentrating, to work on their fine motor skills, mostly their concentration and slowing themselves down. Second year, we're stepping it up a little bit more fine motor, a little more independence, starting to practice zipping, buttoning, things like that. But our third year students are to a point now where they can concentrate and they can sit long enough to sew a little pouch. We have a little girl who, she made herself a little pouch and she puts the tooth fairy puts notes in this for her. So this is what she sewed. I can't sew, but she can sew. And they can sit there and they have that concentration. So they built that concentration from first year and second year to do work like sewing. Also learning to tie their shoes, to help their friends tie their shoes. So they start doing, that's also independence. It's more independence that they're learning and helping out their friends. Also, if they're still having some trouble with just focusing or fine motor and they still need that work, we'll still push them and encourage them. Why don't you do some practical life today? Practice that pencil grip, the tweezing, the left to right motion, just the things like that to help them build those muscles so they can do the extensions of some of the more language work where they are writing. Some kids get frustrated and don't want to do it, but we'll say, you know what, let's go to practical life, let's try this activity for a little while, just to kind of build up their confidence as well. Language. First years, they're learning their letter sounds, things like that. Second year, they're moving on, hopefully know more sounds and letters and start word building a little. By their third year, we're still working on short vowels in the beginning. And then we move on to, oh, I didn't put it out. Sorry.
It's all right. There's lots of
I
stuff.
forgot something. So we'll start working on digraphs, like SH. And where we'll see SH in the beginning, you'll see SH in the end. These two letters together say shh. They're together in a word. When you see S and H, they're together, not sh, not s. It's shh. So they'll work on those. We'll move on to singular and plural. So they know the singular is one. So they'll set up the one heart, the two hearts. Plural means more than one. So that's another activity that they'll work on. We also have the magic E, the silent E. So they'll work on rake. And we have these, so it's there, but you don't say it. Right? So that's the magical part of the E, and that it's a long vowel. So we have our short vowels and introduce that language because they're going to hear that language when they move on to public school or whatever school they move on to. We also do alphabet, ABC order. So we have it all set up, and they look for the words and find which they start with, and then they can write all of it out in ABC order. What else do we have? Sight words. Some schools call them popcorn words. Some schools call them sight words. Some they call them puzzle words. All kinds of words. But these, we introduce these and tell them these are words that you can't sound out. They're words that we just kind of have to memorize. That's why we know them by sight. I made a little popcorn one because I thought it was kind of cute. So they'll have them, we'll match them, we'll teach them the word, and then they can make a book. They'll write a book, staple it together, they can bring it home and practice. And the more they practice those sight words, the easier it will be when they start to read Bob books. Because if they can easily pick out those words, the, is, the other words they'll have to sound out at first, but at least they'll know those words right away. So they'll learn some sight words. Over here we'll introduce noun and verb. And with Montessori, the noun.
Come and see the beautiful work.
Noun is a triangle because it's stable. Verb is a red rolling ball because it moves. So we introduce them when we have nouns and verbs, and they'll read through the words. A noun is a person, place, or thing. Verb moves, or is an action word. So those are some things that they can work on, and they can look through the book and they can read the words and pick out which ones are verbs and which ones are nouns. We also have sentence writing. So they'll read the sentence, they'll build the sentence, and look at the objects of the bed, read the words, read the sentence, and then put the objects together. And we have lots of things for them to be writing out sentences. Even they have pictures. If they draw a picture, we'll tell them, hey, let's get the movable alphabet. Let's write about your picture. So they'll describe it, and we'll help them sound it out. It's not always going to be perfectly written. We'll have them use the sounds. So they'll sound it out phonetically and write it phonetically. So these are some of, this is also, we call this the farm. And they set it all up. They label it, and it's the same concept of the noun and the verb. They also do beautiful. This is one of our third-year students. So she traced. We have the puzzle here on this slide. We have the horse puzzle. So she traced the puzzle, labeled all the parts. Then we did some research, and we found some fun facts about horses. And she copied and she wrote. It's a little hard to read, but she wrote them. We looked them up. I read it to her, and then she picked out the things that she wanted to write about the horse. We have a lot of these books that are super great for research, and they actually really like it. So they make a book with all the different ones. We have a fish, turtle, a frog, a couple others. Over here is more just creative writing. We have the blue tab. The blue ocean makes me calm. Kind of think of a sentence that goes with the color. We have couple different colors. So these are some of the things I'll be working on. I think over there is also short and long vowels. So they just know the difference, because I know definitely in public school this is, or when they move on, these are the things they're going to be working on. So hug is short, huge is long, and they also, short vowel is the U on top, and long is the line. So they're getting the vocabulary that they're going to need when they move on. Do you have any questions?
And we have a question about this particular area, or we can think about it and then we can ask at the end. I mean, there is so much stuff that, and I mean, they're very busy. They're very busy, and they're excited to come in and do it. Mrs. Mather? Oh, are you going back? Okay.
Oh, sensory, yeah.
All right, come on in. It's nice to just be able to see the classrooms and walk around. So go ahead, we're going into the other room. Come on, we're going to do some movement, just like the children. All right.